Well, Brad, firstly, welcome to the football club. Great to
Thank
have you here. On behalf of all the supporters, I welcome you and your family to the Gills. Um, Firstly, a lot of fans want me to ask this question. Why did you decide to invest in Gillingham Football Club? I'm sure you may have had other opportunities to invest, but why Gillingham to invest your money and time?
Yes, thanks for having me, Phil. Probably a year process, most of 2022. We looked at a number of clubs all around the country, some big, some small, some higher table, some lower table. And Gillingham kind of combined a lot of things that we were looking for. It's a terrific catchment area right outside of London, the only EFL club in Kent. Huge fan base, huge corporate sponsor base, a nice sized stadium, and really, as I describe it, is just a lot of raw potential. Gillingham also has diversified businesses around the pitch, so it helps to build a sustainable team. And those are kinds of the things that we were looking for, and Gillingham had most, if not all, of those.
So you say it maybe took a year. So when did the process officially begin?
So for my search, the process began early January or early January of 2022.
Right.
Lasted a whole year. My interactions with Gillingham was kind of late summer, early fall. Got to meet a lot of the key people in the organization, and we actually had a very long due diligence process both ways, for them to get to know us and us get to know them.
And of course, that's a two-way dialogue, isn't it, for constructive due diligence process? And these things do take time.
They do. They take time. I think it's a very important process, like you said, that it's a two-way due diligence process. So of course, us sort of outsiders coming in have to get to know the club and the processes and the finances, and the team and the pitch. But equally as important, the staff, the people that are working there, need to get to know us because it has to be a partnership long term to build a sustainable business. And so part of the reason it takes so long is because you're literally getting to know people, relationships, and trust, and know their strengths and know their weaknesses. And so it's a very long process, but it's a very important process to go through.
Now, I know you've got plenty of ideas. We could probably sit here all day, couldn't we, going through your ideas and wish lists. But what are your immediate priorities in the short term and then in the longer term?
Yeah, so the short term, I think nobody will be surprised, is upgrading the club. We need, like I said, a tune-up. We need help. The players need help, and January is the time to do that. So the short term for sure is to give help to the team to move up the table. As far as the medium and long term, there's a lot of exciting things to do once you sort of accomplish that. The whole business is around the pitch. So of course you have to be strong on the pitch, and then as I said, there's a real diversified businesses around Gillingham, the factory, the Great Hall, the GFC school. All of those kinds of things need money and need help to grow because, again, it builds one giant sustainable business, not just for the club and for the fans, but for the whole community. They do a lot of important things here, and the idea is to keep expanding it and keep it more sustainable and grow it and profitable. And lastly, really, is to bring in more fan and sponsorship participation. There is a tremendously dedicated fan base. I think I read there's over 75,000 businesses just in the immediate Kent area, and all of those should be engaged positively around the businesses and the pitch.
I'm going to come to the businesses in a second. You adhered to the January transfer window, which is of course now open. We've already signed Tom Nichols, but I'm sure the fans will want to know plenty more. Is there plenty more scope to strengthen the squad?
Yeah, the plan is to strengthen the squad. As far as numbers, it's hard to promise something, but January is definitely a crucial time. It is by far the highest priority for the club, for the staff, for the manager, for everybody. So the answer is positively yes, the plan is to upgrade and become more competitive.
Supporters would also probably like to know the involvement of Paul Scally, who remains a minority shareholder at Gillingham Football Club. What role is he going to play moving forwards with you as chairman?
Yes, so part of this due diligence process is I've gotten to know Paul very well. He remains a minority shareholder and a board member. And our thought is that someone with his wisdom and his experience and his dedication to the club is only an asset to push us forward. So the idea is to use his strengths and use his participation and rely on his experience to continue the club moving forward as partners.
And people watching this interview might just see some activity behind you. The TV gantries are going up ahead of our game against Leicester
Yes.
this Saturday at 12:30 in the FA Cup. Will you be on the pitch beforehand waving to the fans, or are you going to be very quietly sitting down and observing?
Yes, so I will be on the pitch, waving to the fans with my family. Very, very excited to do that. And then we'll enjoy the game in the owner's box with the sponsors. And it should be a very, very exciting Saturday. I think I heard it's the first time we've sold out Priestfield in at least a few years. So it should be loud and it should be raucous and it should be really what Gillingham is about.
But you couldn't have written a better script, could you? Your first game here, live on telly in the FA Cup. What a great way to start.
Oh, exactly. And I expect the rest of the games will absolutely be sold out, just like this one.
Let's hope
It should
so.
be very exciting. Very exciting.
The one gentleman who's been at the club since the start of the season is Paul Fisher, who's co-chairman and CEO. Can you confirm if Paul is going to remain at the club?
Absolutely. So, Fish, again, I've gotten to know very, very well. He will absolutely be staying with the club. He's an essential part of the operations of the club, and he will be remaining to run the operations of the club gladly.
And I gather we'll be planning a fans forum fairly soon, as when you're able to do so. Is that correct? So we won't put a date on it, but hopefully in January, start of February, whenever you can, I guess.
Yes. The plan is that I actually will be in the country through middle of February, and very excited to fans forum, interface with sponsors, council, really the whole community to get more active engagement, more positivity as we sort of improve and grow the business.
You touched earlier on the 70,000 businesses in the local community, and I know you're very keen to re-engage with that community.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Kent, we're the only team, in Kent. Huge source of corporate sponsorship and community sponsorship, and extremely excited to show a little positively on the pitch so that we can incorporate the community and incorporate some of these very large businesses, small businesses, local businesses, international businesses. It's very, very excited to do that. Absolutely.
Now, I gather you only flew into the country yesterday, and you went straight to Stevenage to watch us. So I know you'll be very, very tired. But over the next few days, what are your immediate plans to focus on?
Yeah, so the immediate plans really is just to get to know people a little more. Sit in on staff meetings, sit in on pitch meetings, get ready for Saturday, and then start to build some processes, some financial processes, some reporting processes, and start to look at some staff improvements where we have, sort of COVID light as far as staff and organizational chart, and really start to get the business going again, and really get to know them. We have the staff here is actually quite impressive. They do a very, very good job. They do a job of 2 or 3 people, each person. And the idea is maybe they could do a job of 2 people instead of 3 people as we start to slowly add. And really just let them do the things that they do well. Is really my job to watch and to improve when I can. And really just to put a lot more reporting and financial systems in.
And of course, all these things take time, don't they? A lot of people have to be patient in waiting for things to improve, because these things don't happen overnight.
Yeah, it's a slow process. I mean, we have the January window. We have immediate needs on the pitch, and then organizationally and corporate, reach out. It's a slow process that you hopefully see some momentum build slowly, and then by the end of the season, we'll have summer to sort of revamp and do things a little more slowly, and really just push forward, see the positive momentum. Absolutely.
I can hear in your voice you're very excited by the challenges that lie ahead. You must be very, very enthused for the future.
Yeah. I mean, it's an exciting sport. It's like nothing I've seen in the entire world. In the United States, our sports there's no pyramid, there's no relegation, there's no promotion, there's no sort of heart on the field, because you really have nothing to lose. You either make the playoffs or you don't make the playoffs, but you're always in the same league. So it's something that I've never seen before. I mean, the passion of the fans is tremendous. Just walking around Gillingham this morning, stopped on the street, people shake your hands. They give you advice about strikers, and it's a terrific system.
So you've been given lots of lists of targets by fans as you've been going round.
I have. People have said, "Are you bringing 4 strikers or 5 strikers? How many left-footed crosses are you gonna?" So it's terrific though. It's what it's all about. It's why I'm here.
Superb. Well, on behalf of the entire fan base and all the staff, Brad, welcome to the football club. and yeah, we'll see how things develop.
Excellent. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it.